Today we're going back to the realm of window treatments with some smart blinds. Folks, welcome back to GeekSmart, and today we're back for another install, and this is Serena Shades Smart Wood Blinds. Now, they brought this out, I believe, it might have been right at the beginning of the year or late last year, is when they kind of rolled these off the line, and I really wanted to get my hands on it, and I was lucky enough for them to send me a pair of these. So I have, I guess I should say one blind. We're going to do it in my bathroom. Since I already have some, the roller shades in my living room, perfect area to do it. Now, these are very customizable. There are 4 stain finishes. They have 4 painted finishes. The stains, they have like a dark walnut, a walnut, like a light oak, and then a red mahogany, I think, are the stain finishes. The paint finishes don't hold me to those. It's like there's like whites and grays and stuff like that. So, but definitely check out the link below. I'm going to link directly over to Serena Shades' website where you can take a peek at these, as well as the finishes that you can get them in. We're going to pull this out of the box and go over how I ordered it. Now, you can do inside mounts. So if you actually go back to my first Serena Shade video on the roller shades, I did what's called an inside mount. That the shade is actually inside of the window and it's all housed within the actual the casement or the extension jamb of the window. These, because this is going over an older window I have, and how those are lined and everything like that, this I did as a above outside mount. So you can do inside mount, and above outside mount. There's kind of your 3 different ways. Inside mount, like I said, inside the actual extension jamb. It's kind of flush with the wall. You don't have to. It's not sticking out. Outside mount mounts to the outside of the trim, typically, of the window, and then you have above outside mount, which basically mounts above the trim. So you can get a little longer, right? There are more limitations on how long you can get these than you can get the roller shades. So originally I was kind of thinking of an idea of maybe doing something around my my new sliding doors I put in. But these are not capable of doing the length that I would need. So we're going to unbox it. We're going to go over how I ordered it, and we'll see what it looks like, and we'll get installing it. So let's get started. Alright, so first of all, they sent me in a few different packages how it actually came. This was actually the last package to arrive, which is actually the shade. I got a box that actually came with some spacers. Now, I had you can request as many spacers as you need based on how thick your trim is. I requested a couple extra spacers, which they obliged and sent. So these came actually in their own box first. Then I got a separate box that literally just had the Pico remote. So I wanted a remote that I could actually leave in the bathroom that you could access without getting your phone out or using a voice with a voice assistant. I do already have the Lutron hub. That was actually from my Casado system for my lights, some of the light switches that I had. And it works perfect with all the Serena Shades as well, obviously as well. So this will connect and control this, but I'm also going to be able to use my voice and my phone as well. So it's just another item. You do not have to buy these. They're optional. All the controls are optional. You can also buy this as a battery-operated unit, a hardwired unit, or a manual unit where you actually just use your hands and there's no power unit at all. So you can get these in a whole bunch of different ways. I opted for the hardwired unit. And so I actually do have a 12-volt adapter that you can purchase as well from them. So I got that as well. Now, as of right now, I have not ran a power outlet. I'm going to run a power outlet nearby where this shade is. I may actually hide that. I haven't fully designed yet, but we're going to mount it, and I'm just going to run an extension cord to get it powered up and everything. And then when I do my final review, when I actually show you this in the end, I'm actually going to show you what I did for power then. So that's not going to be a part of this video, but then again, this isn't for electricians. This is for mounting the shade. So that said, got my handy best dad ever knife, and we're going to open this thing up. And this is exactly how it came packaged from Lutron. Okay, so now we are, I guess, set with what we have here. So we have the hardware here. Going to be our mounting clips. Going to be our power cable, and then of course the adapter was separate. So this power cable is just from plug to plug, essentially. And then also screws to mount as well are going to be in there as well. We have, this is the Valance, which obviously is matching. We decided to go with there are a couple different styles they have. This is more of a square or just a modern kind of flat style. So let me pull it out of the bag here. Try to be careful because they are glued together. You can see the glue there. But this is the walnut color. You can see the walnut color there. My trim in the house for the most part is like a dark walnut, but my wife didn't really want the dark walnut, so we went with the walnut instead. Set that over there. Alright, so looks like there is some scuffing in transit, but nothing. That's in the upper unit. That's actually going to be covered anyway by the Valance, or actually that might be the side that goes against the wall, to be honest. So that's not going to be that biggest deal in the world. See the motor side, there's the kind of antenna for it, and the cable itself looks like it plugs in up here. So yeah, we are pretty much fully unboxed. I'm going to go upstairs, take a peek at where we're going to go and clean up the area. I'm actually going to take down my existing terrible window dressing that's already there, that was there from when the house, before we moved in. So yeah, that said, I'm going to go up and get that off the wall real quick. Won't take more than a couple seconds because it's just took by like 2 screws, and get ready and get prepped, and then we'll go upstairs and we'll get this thing installed. Before we head upstairs, I just want to make mention of one more thing real quick. So this is the Valance here. These clips, these white clips that are actually in the bag, when you order a Valance, that's what these are going to come with. These are the clips that actually go on the Valance. It's really easy actually how they go on too. They just kind of go on and turn, and then they're locked into place. And then you may have to adjust these, right, depending on where you're going to put it. But they slide onto these clips that were actually, these were already pre-installed on my Shade. These little plastic clips are for the Valance to slide onto, and then they'll click into place, and then you can actually release them, it looks like, by pushing down on these parts right here of the Valance. So I did want to point that out. So maybe while we're here, we can actually, get these aligned properly. Looks like that's going to go that way a little bit. No, they can actually slide a lot easier than I thought. That way we can center the Valance basically on the window as we go. So that's that. The other thing I wanted to mention here is the metal brackets are actually what actually hold the Shade up. And so with these go on, these actually get screwed onto the back wall using these 4 holes back here. You can basically they screw onto the wall. The Shade then slides into place, and then this clips around it like that, so it kind of holds it into place, right? It actually just literally holds the Shade. And then there are some plastic clips, these are locks. These actually lock this into place so it can't accidentally open up on you. So we have these, they actually come already closed, so you just open them up. So that's how we're going to be installing them. But these are what we're going to install first, then the Shade, then the Valance, and then the clips, actually, to be honest, before the Valance. The screws here, looks like they give you 2 for each side. They do give you 2 spacer blocks, but like I said, I also have some more spacer blocks if we need them. These are a little bit different than the spacer blocks they gave me. So, but I'm pretty sure that my trim is actually thicker than this. So, we'll figure that out when we go up there. But these will work just as fine, just a little bit different. It looks like how how things are going to actually line up on them. It's kind of weird. Whatever. We'll figure it out. So yeah, let's actually go upstairs now. Welcome to my bathroom. So you can see off to the left is where the window is that we're about to hopefully cover. But I did run into an issue, and that is with the spacers. So this clear spacer block is what was sent. And when I did order them, they say even in their informational video when you're ordering, if you need more spacer blocks, ask for additional spacer blocks, which I did. And they did send me, like you saw before. However, this is the spacer block they sent me. I don't believe that the information was properly told, and so this is, as far as I can tell, a spacer block for the roller shades. They're not the same. Not a big deal, and I'm sure if I wanted to reach out to Lutron, I'm sure they'd send me in a heartbeat. Oh, my bad. And things happen. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I still want to do this install. And so we're going to rig something. What I have, now this is an old window. This is a 50-year-old window. But this is eventually going to get replaced, which is why we're doing above the window on this mount, so that I can pop it out when I replace the window, put the new window in to be done, and just pop it back in and keep going, right? I have, from when I did my other windows and doors installed so far that I've done, these are window shims. So they're flat shims. They're not angled shims. And so if I actually duplicate these, I actually get pretty much exactly the distance that I need. Now, I actually have some varying thicknesses of these. The thicker ones are red. I don't want a red shim because you're going to be able to see that real easy. But a gray shim, I'm okay with. So what I'm going to do, actually, is put these shims probably against the actual bracket and the clear shim behind it. That's kind of maybe what I'm thinking. I haven't really fully thought this out fully yet, or the other way around. But I'm thinking because the clear shim is going to definitely disappear, and the gray shim behind the bracket, you're never going to see this because the valance is going to cover it anyway. I do have to cut them to length yet, and then of course I'll drill some holes through it. Things are coming together. So I did want to point that out before we get going on this. But we're going to mark this out before I'd even do this anyway, and then I'll have this all ready for us when we keep going. Hopefully you're able to see fine. So this is the trim, and obviously I'm going to be mounting up here. Now the width, the standing width of my valance is 3 inches. So I want my valance so it's actually above the window. So I'm going to go just over 3. So I'm going to go about 3 1/8 on that side. And same with this side. And that's going to be the top of my valance. That's my current plan, at least. The other thing we're going to want to do is see how level we are. Now, the other thing is in and out. Now, you can do a couple of things. You're going to notice something that I have that you probably don't have, and that's this corner. Right, I am actually deadlocked on this side, even though they actually cut a little bit out of the trim here when they actually did the window. So I'm actually planning for my valance to go against this. I want it to go against it. This side is going to be wherever it lies, but this side is going against this. So I'm trying to center it the best possible. And what I'm planning on doing is 3/4 of an inch out. If I actually measure on the window versus the valance, there's actually 3/4 of an inch that I'm going to be coming over to where the first bracket is going to lie. So, and I'm going to double check that measurement. Everything I do, I'm going to double check before we actually do anything. So that should be where my first bracket is. So let me double check that. Easiest way to really know is by putting it up there. And I know right now we're going to be sticking out a little bit, but yeah, that looks good. About the center of that, about the center of that. So that's exactly where I want it to go. The only thing is, because of the trim that's sticking out here, I can't mount this against the wall because, well, it'll hit that trim because that trim sticks out about 1/2 inch. That's what those shims are for, to bring it out. A single one of those shims is probably most good for most modern trim, but this is thicker stuff. So that's why I got to shim it out with 2 shims, or in my case, 1 shim and a custom shim. one thing I didn't do while I was up there is mark the right side, because that side is going to be dictated by this. So we're going to want about 1/8 of an inch gap, but up around that 3/4 of an inch. And then the same thing on this side, which you can either, if you know measurements real good, then you can just eyeball it. We just need a little bit of a gap here between where the plate is, basically for the thickness in the metal. And we don't want it really tight as we're pushing the window in, because things expand and contract, especially with moisture in the bathroom. So yeah, I want a little bit of gap, but now I know where my brackets are going to go. My next steps now are going to be drilling the holes for the mounts. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not without the shims at all. I want to get directly on the wall where I want this placed. So basically place this on the wall where we want it. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do the outermost hole on the top and the innermost hole on the bottom. That's what I'm going to do, 2 screws. And I can do more if I'd like. For now I'm going to try 2, see how they work. Make sure they're long enough with all the shims that I have behind it as well. So I'm going to just place them up here, draw out where the holes are, where I'm going to drill, and then I'm going to use an 1/8 inch drill bit to make a little pilot hole. That way we can also check to see the header, make sure we have solid connection. Okay, so now I got 4 holes to drill quick. Let me grab my drill bit. I hit nothing on the top 2, solid on the bottom 2. Some more thoughts to think about, because I'm going to have some kind of support, to support it. So I'm going to go with my old trusty screw-in drywall anchors. And that's what I'm going to use on the top 2 holes. And that's one of the good things about using that drill bit, is you can tell whether or not there's actually anything there you're actually going to hit. In my case, there wasn't, unfortunately. I was hoping that there'd be a header all the way across. This is an older home, so I was wishful thinking. And now we have 2 anchors on the top. So I'm going to get my spacers ready, and we're going to actually put the brackets up. Spacer that came with it, homemade spacer. I actually put it 3 thick. I can actually take apart and take one out if I don't need it. I can adapt this. So I'm going to put it up there, kind of see what it looks like, and then whether or not I'm going to just use the 2 or the 3. So I think I'm going to try it with 2. I'm going to forego the lighter gray one and just go 2 for now. And if I need to change it later, I can always change it later. So in this case, I'm going to get our screws ready to go. Put through my spacers. So that's, you know what? I think I'm going to go the other way. I think I'm going to try putting the spacer blocks against the actual bracket rather than against the wall. And that's just, like I said before, to try to hide things. And I can always, if I get them to send me some spacers, I can just always just replace them and just go with 2 spacers. So I'm just more apt to get this thing mounted. Obviously I can adjust a little bit after I get to that point. I'm going to go ahead and get the second side on quick. We got the blind. Should be able to slide it in like so. Let's go with that. If I need to add that extra spacer, it's real quick and easy to take this thing apart. Alright, well this is me going back because I forgot to put on the secure clips. So these clips, there's one that says L, one that says R, obviously left and right. They clip on, so if you can actually see back here, there's a little opening. That's what this lower little guy kind of clips into. So kind of clips in like that and then just snaps in place. That just locks the shade in. do one on the left, one on the right. It locks it in place. You're not going to see it on the rest of the video because I forgot to put them in, but I wanted to make sure that I showed you. Let's put the power line on, the power cable. It's probably simpler to do with before the thing, and they say to do it actually before you even get this far. So like I said before, right next to the motor there was a little clip, and you can actually see on the power cord itself, that's the clip that's going to go actually right into the motor. So real quick, it just snaps in, and then you have quite a bit of cable. Now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to power it up into the attic. Because I already have power up there, to be honest. And I can actually quick and drill into here right here. And this is a hollow box. I know exactly where it is upstairs. And eventually that's exactly what I'm going to do. You won't even see the power. It's going to be lit up there. That said though, for now, so for testing and all that, just plugs in right there at the motor, right next to where that antenna comes out. And so I'm just going to bring this down for now. This is a temporary solution, not the final solution. Okay, I didn't mean to say the final solution. I think I'm actually going to bring it over here. That way I can bring it off to the side a little bit. Since I already have power right down there anyway for the toilet, that's temporary until I get all this stuff powered. So, that said, let's put the valance on. Now this is going to be the one that I think is going to be a little trickier than what they say, because they say to, well, the top is this side. And before I was kind of like, oh, this is how you're going to release it. No, actually you release it from the clip here, I think. But they say to come in from the bottom. However, with my trim here, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go from the bottom. Let's find out if I can. If I can, great. If I can't, I'm going to see if I can slide it from the top. Yeah, no, it's hitting the trim, and that trim sticks out a ½ inch. So I'm going to bring it in from the top instead and see if that works. A little trickier, probably. Oh yeah, she still worked though. So there it is. That's awesome. Still got a little piece, some foam piece. Oh, maybe I can get those out. Now I'm going to take the adapter and just plug it into the wall. I'm not going to film that part. I'm just going to plug her in. Just got done plugging it in, and there was a green light that kind of flashed up here. So that's a good sign that it's getting power. Let me get the remote. So in the instructions, rather than do it directly with this, I'm going to do it with the Lutron app. Because I do already have the bridge installed, because I have other Lutron devices, this is going to be adding another device to my home, essentially. And so if we go in the Lutron app, so they can see my devices here, we hit the little gear icon on the top left, we're going to hit Add a Device, which is the top one, and then getting ready to add devices. So let me come down here a little closer here for you. And so we can actually see we have a smart shader blind. I'm going to click on that. Wait for the LED to start blinking. This may take a moment, and then press and hold the button for 10 seconds until the LED blinks rapidly. We're actually on a wood blind. Wait for the LED, okay. And then click. Alright, so top left corner, yes there is. It's actually, let me show you before I do it. You can see it right here. It's blinking. I'm going to push and hold for 10 seconds. There we go. We're blinking rapidly now. So let's go back to the app. So now you can see I can actually assign it, which is going to be in the bathroom. Let's add a bathroom. I'm just going to call it bathroom. So bathroom blind. Please name your wood blind. I'm just going to call it blind. That way when we say close bathroom blinds. It's adding the device. Oh, there was another. Let's hit retry. Interesting. Let me see what's going on here. I have no idea. I hit cancel, then it just hit add again, and then it added it. So, Lutron, let's see. We're on the south side of the building. Use my location, sure. And we'll put the facing the south, and boom, there we go. So I just had a map of my house from an aerial photo of my house. I'm done adding devices. Actually, I should have added the Pico remote is what I should have added, so maybe I'll do that real quick as well. So we'll let that finish, and then I'll add the remote next. So it's asking to do the natural light stuff. So natural light, we're gonna try this natural light stuff. Blinds will begin to follow natural light optimization. Sure, we'll just keep it sunrise to sunset. Why not? Let's give it a try. And there we are. So in my bathroom, there's my blind. Before we add the Pico remote, let's try the blind out. I apologize for the lighting, but that's what it is. So let's try that again. Let's go. And we go close the other way. So that's how it is right there. You can change the angled viewing. So if you want it to go up a little bit, and you can change it just by sliding the thing. Let's get the remote on there. Now we have better lighting. So we're going to hit the gear icon again and hit add device. And in this case, we're going to be adding a remote here in a second. So we're going to do a Pico remote. That's what I got here. Let's see if it's going to be a shade remote. That's what it is. Press and hold the closed button. Pressing and holding the close button. You appear to be adding a Pico device remote. Oh, I guess, okay, we are in a Pico remote. So we're going to go in the bathroom. We're going to control the bathroom, hit next. We're going to do shades, hit next. And I'm done adding devices. And now let's see if the Pico remote actually works. Yes, it does. And closed. So, we are fully set up. Exactly how I want to be. The nice thing is I have a little extra, I asked for a little extra length in my, so I can go a little bit lower in case my my new window, when that eventually gets here. I don't know if it's going to be next year or what. It's all dependent on budget. But there it is. That Serena Shades Smart Wood Blinds. Now this, again, is the walnut color. I think we chose the right color. So as you may notice, I'm in a different shirt because yesterday was install day, and while I finished the entire video, I'm reshooting the end because I had actually heard back from Lutron on a couple things. First, the shims that they accidentally sent me. They did actually accidentally send me the wrong ones. They are actually sending me the right ones. So if this was most people, I would probably wait to install it until they send you the right shims. I would think that most people don't need those shims, but because of how thick my trim was, I needed them. So I may do without. I'm probably going to go back and replace them with the shims once they arrive. So in my review video in the end, you'll probably see it with the shims, and maybe I'll even point that out. So they apologized. They are sending the right shims, but yeah. Second thing, and I think mention this in the video, almost all Lutron products work with Apple HomeKit, with Amazon's Assistant, and Google Assistant as well. All three. These blinds, the wood blinds, are a little different. Currently, they only have Amazon's Assistant and Google's Assistant support. They are not Apple HomeKit ready yet. I was told that Lutron, I think, is eyeing that, and they're working on that. But as of this point, it is not Apple HomeKit ready. So, I can't use my Apple Home app. I can't use Siri to control the blinds. However, that said as well, I am attempting to use the smart shade capability with the sun and everything. So I'm going to try that out and see how that goes. So that'll be in my review in the end as well. But I do have actually Amazon and Google in my house as well. I use all three. So I try to get products that can use all three so that no matter which one I use, I can control everything in my house. In this case, right now at least, I can't control it with Siri, which is not a big deal because of where I placed the shade, but I did want to make mention of that. So, after all that long wind and everything, my thoughts from the setup. First, very easy to install. In all reality, you really need to know how wide, if you take the actual shade itself, put it up there exactly where you want it, level it, mark where it is, add 1/8 of an inch, and that's where your brackets go. Make sure, again, that they are level and plumb. And then it slides in, locks in, and if you did get the valance, you throw that in, that clips in real quick and easy. It's really easy. I gotta give them credit. They made a really easy, smart blind. So kudos to them on that. Obviously, I'll have more thoughts on the review in the review, so keep tuned for that. I will post that link at the top of the description. I'll probably link it at the back of the video as well. So that will be coming once I have more on-time experience. However, this morning, after having it installed for a whole 12 plus hours or whatever, my wife said, I love them. They look so much better than our previous, which is fine because the previous stuff sucked anyway, but she loves them already. Time will tell how much we love how the movement and everything it is and how well it works. And I still haven't figured out where I'm going to actually take the remote. It does have adhesive tape that you can stick to it. It actually is removable and replaceable. So that little mount sticks to the wall and stays on the wall. And the remote can actually slide in and out of it. So I don't know if I'm going to put it on the wall or put it over by the toilet or whatever I want to do. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet. I haven't decided and I don't have to decide. So currently it lays on the countertop in the bathroom. So thank you for sticking to the end, guys. If you have any questions at all, please comment. You can head over to techhooch.com and you can actually get a hold of me directly through there. Like, subscribe, share the video if you can. But yeah, if you have experience with Lutron, shades, blinds, whichever, let us know what you think of them. Because I'm a huge fan of the roller shades. Not joking, they are fantastic. I love them. The blinds, so far, so good. I think out of the gate, obviously roller shades are not really for every single room, and these are a great alternative and linked together in the same app family. So, that said, guys, thank you for watching. Thanks for sticking to the end, and we'll catch you back here on GeekSmart for a future video install setup tutorial, whichever. We'll see you soon.